Hi everybody, my name is Jessica and this is my channel Plant Hooker. Now today I brought out my Pilea Mollis. Look how pretty this little guy is. He's also kind of bald on the other side, which I will explain in a minute why that happened. So Pilea Mollis, Moon Valley Pilea, Friendship Plant, and Pilea involucrata is some of the other names that this guy goes by. Is a species of flowering plant, part of the Urticeae or Urticae family, or the nettle leaf family. Yeah. Native to Central and South America, and was discovered back in 1856. And it's been part of the little horticulture plant community since, I wouldn't say right at that time, but a little bit afterwards. Now the reason why mine is kind of bald on the back is even though this is a medium demand plant, he doesn't like to sit in water. So even though on a moisture meter level, he likes to be at a level 6. They still don't like to have wet feet. And as I mentioned before, during work, I just water and go. So I accidentally overwatered this guy and I ended up losing a couple of stems here that were kind of sticking out. But normally, he's not in terracotta. Like the terracotta is the cover pot, but he's in a bit of a nursery pot. But because the terracotta kind of absorbs whatever water that may come out the bottom, usually I'll water him roughly every 5 to 10 days, depending on how much the temperature, don't do that, Ziva. Depending on the temperature in my house, how much light is coming in, and how he feels. Because this guy can be a little picky and finicky, because this is my second Pilea. I killed my first one. Yeah. Even though this is a high humidity plant, I had him in my kitchen where, you're baking and cooking and cleaning the dishes. My kitchen is also right next to my wood stove, and the humidity wasn't enough for him. Yeah. But this guy so far seems to be handling my wood stove because I currently have him upstairs in a north-facing window. Now, mind you, it is a bright north-facing window, and he seems to be doing fairly okay with it. So, and these are the flowers here that he makes. This is these little tiny little things. Tiny little white things that really do look like the flowers that nettle plants make. When it comes to fertilizer though, this guy is a little bit higher in demand in fertilizer. I find that if I don't fertilize him about every second watering, his leaves will grow a dull color. Like they won't be as nice and bright green, and that middle part there tends to get more coppery and duller looking. So, and I use the all-purpose fertilizer for him, specifically the Schultz. You can use the fertilizer that's strictly for green plants as well. Now when it comes to misting, at this time of year I'll mist him about every 6 days, once a week. During the winter time, however, when my wood stove is going, I'll do every 2 days just to keep this guy happy, because he's not one for the wood stove. Part sun, part shade, doesn't like bright light, does prefer shade. And so far as I've found, the north window is his favorite spot. Didn't care, south was a big no-no. Was okay somewhat with west. East was in between south and west on how much he hated it. And he's quite happy with the north window. I have him actually in between my two Marantas, and he does okay with that. Yeah. Now, the ideal temperatures for these guys are between 18 and 25 degrees Celsius. And if you're in a hardiness zone 11A or more, they can go outside. But because I'm on Cape Breton in Canada, this guy can never go outside in my area. He cannot handle the outside. It is not humid enough. It is not warm enough. He prefers indoors for him to be at his happiest. Yeah. Now the type of soil I have him in, I think this is the same soil that I bought this guy in. Because I've had him for almost a year. And I think this is just regular all-purpose. Yeah, because I purchased him from Kent. The pot, this is the same nursery pot I believe he came in. His roots are just starting to come up now, so I might have to, I don't think I'll up-pot him, but I might just change the soil since I lost that. I don't want to like shock him too much or give him too much room, but I might just change the soil so then he can get more nutrients and be happier, because the best soil for these guys is the tropical cocoa coir and peat moss. I'd stick more, to the cocoa coir because it's more sustainable than the peat moss. But yeah, I'll have to, and I'll be probably doing that next month, because I'd like to do like a Q&A, because next month will be my 1 year anniversary of being on YouTube. Yeah. So I'll make another video for more details on that later. Now, when it comes to pest, personally, I have not dealt with pests with these guys at all. But they can be plagued with mealybugs, thrips, and fungus gnats, unfortunately. And the only one I've dealt with or I've seen flying around him was a tiny little white flies that had come in off of my orchids one day. Now, when it comes to common problems with these guys, rotting base is also a cause by overwatering, and so is stunted growth. Stunted, like if they're not growing at all, that is also a sign of overwatering. Yellowing leaves is a sign of overwatering, but yellowing leaves can also be a sign of low light or foliage burn. Like if you're like, even though they prefer low light or shade, they still can't handle like no light. Like my north window, even though I say it's a north window, it's more like a north-northeast window. So it does get a lot of that really nice early morning light, and then it's bright for the rest of the day. So it's not too bad. It's what this guy seems to like in my home. Foliage burn too, like yellowing leaves can be a sign of too much sun, like the sun is burning the leaves. Shriveling leaves is also another sign of overwatering, and that can also mean not enough humidity. And if you find that is happening, excuse me, just increase your egg. Don't fight. Sorry, two of my cats were fighting. Increase your misting, or perhaps move it into a more humid room. Yeah. Now the terracotta pot, however, that's just something I think I'm trying to remember where I got this terracotta part. Maybe Walmart. And then my youngest painted it because he likes to paint pots. I would not recommend this for a first-time plant owner. They are very difficult and quite finicky. But if you are a somewhat experienced plant owner, then, it could work for you. And then you have to, buy another one to learn from your mistakes with the first one, like I did. Yeah, but no, he's a dandy little plant. I couldn't find anything that says exactly on how tall they get, but mine is only about 4 inches tall, which I think is 7 to 10 centimeters, or maybe closer to the 10 centimeters, I think. Yeah. But no, my Pilea mollis. So if you have any questions, shoot me a message. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Everybody has a right to their opinion. If you really liked the video, subscribe. And as always, live long, plant on.